Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. Today, I'm going to be putting a cover, if I can keep the gnats away from me, on the Toyota Tacoma rather. Something I've toyed with, doing, not doing. I decided to do it, and I'm going with the Tyger tonneau cover. You guys can see it right here. There will be a link down below if you want to check it out. It is a trifold, I believe, vinyl. So it's not a hard cover, if you will. And Tyger says it will work with their sport bar. And you can see it has the slots here so that it slips inside. The downside is you can only open it this far out because obviously you can't pull up. It'll be sitting underneath here. Now, I did go ahead and remove the covers. It came with covers to hide this if you didn't go with a cover. Now, one other thing I want to mention, it's going to fit over this ridge. So it's going to come down across here. I'm going to be very interested to see if this cover is watertight. Frankly, the tonneau cover is the only one I've ever had that is watertight. I've had them on Jeep Gladiators and they always fit really well, didn't let any water in. I can't imagine we're going to have the same results with this ridge here, but we'll find out. So first thing is to go ahead and get the brackets on, I believe, according to the instructions. So let's see. No, actually, the first thing is to go ahead and put this seal on. It says you may need it. Now, that's obviously for water intrusion across the top. I am going to put it on. I've put it on before, so why not? There is an optional one you can put across the back. I'm not concerned about that. If water's blowing hard enough to blow in the back of the truck, or if I'm driving so fast in reverse, it's not really going to be an issue. Here's a little tip for you. Tyger is apparently aware of leakage issues, so they provide this little foam insert or piece to go in between the rail here and the bed to keep water from getting inside. I actually removed this piece because I don't see any way you could jam it down in there the way that it looks right now. There are bolts running across the front right down below. You can take those out and that piece just comes right off. Much simpler to get that piece in. Now we're going to go ahead and put that bulkhead seal on. Okay, as is always the case, there's always something unexpected. Now I have the sport bar on the truck, of course, and you have to put these brackets in, right? And they slide into the channels like that. Now, you have to have two up at the front. You can see the one there and the one there. But since they slide in from the end and the sport bar is in the way, including the bolt that's in the corner up there, I had to take all the bolts off, pull the bracket that holds or that screws into the rail for the sport bar away, pull out the bolt that's holding that side in, as well as one of these screws that are back behind here, because the bolt won't come out unless that screw's out. And of course, there's one right there in the corner. So I had to pull it out, remove the screw, take the bolt out, slide the bracket in, and put everything back together. And of course, it fits tightly. So I had to pry away that bracket in order to do that. It worked out pretty well, added about half an hour to my install, I suppose. But now the brackets are in, so we're going to go ahead and plop the top up here, I guess, because you have to do that so that you can align the other four brackets, two on each side, to hold down the tonneau cover. One thing I want to mention before I pull this out and get it on top, they do include a case, a bag, if you will. I'm not sure if that's just for advertising purposes or if they actually think you're going to be taking this off and storing it in this bag. For me, it's added cost. This is not necessary. So Tyger, if you're listening, get rid of the bag. We don't take the tonneau cover off and store it somewhere. It'll save us some money or make you more profit either way. Here's a little tip for you. And sorry about the lighting, I'm underneath the cover. If you notice, the bracket does not line up. I tried to put it on like that, crooked, it just pulls right off because there's pressure on it. I discovered, after I got smart and decided to read the directions a little closer, these bars are adjustable. You see the Phillips screw up there, and there's one on the other side. You loosen them, and then you can move the bracket that way. so that it lines up with the bracket down here. I should say the holder, so it lines up with the bracket. I probably spent an hour trying to figure out how to do this using the track here or the slot here instead of the holder here. Lesson learned. All right, it is done. Wanted to show you guys up in the front. You can see the light. You can see the light right there and right over there. That is actually light that has nothing to do with the tonneau cover. That's actually light or an opening, I'm thinking of rain, that's coming in from above the bed rail, but below the cover. It's actually right here, right down in that area. So it doesn't have anything to do with the cover. The cover actually looks good. When I shine the light in there, or not shine the light, but when I look for light in here, I don't see any light otherwise. So I'm gonna put a couple of pieces of foam there just for kicks. My buddy Randall, he would caulk that, which is probably not a bad idea. I may do that because that's really a truck thing. It's not the tonneau cover. Let's take a quick look with the tailgate shut. That's what it looks like, and it really brings the truck together, I think. You have to have something across the back when you have a sport bar like this, either bars that continue on or the tonneau cover, just to bring it all together to complete the look, I think. Because I think it actually looks pretty good now with that tonneau cover and the sport bar. Now, someone had asked me before, can you put a tonneau cover on with a sport bar? Or he wished that you could get a sport bar and have a tonneau. Well, there you go. The only downside, again, is that you cannot open it beyond this point, obviously, because the cover is underneath the bracketry or the sport bar itself. But you can open it 2/3 of the way, I think. Actually, you can open it to here, and it will swing here. It'll be close. You can, of course, adjust that depending on where you put the sport bar. If I was to move the sport bar forward or move the tonneau backwards a little bit, I could open it 3 ways, but the way it is right now, I do not believe so. The bar is actually, well, it's actually right in here. I think the hinge is right here, so probably not. We'll have to do that in the future. Anyway, that is the install. Not too bad. Again, just remember, if your handles don't line up with the brackets, like mine almost didn't, you can see how close they are. That's right on the edge. These are adjustable. The bars can be moved up and down on the tonneau cover. Something I learned today I had never known before. And also, if you have to do that, and I assume that all tonneau covers are like this, if you have to do that, keep in mind when you take those screws out, they are self-tapping. They're going to, in essence, drill a hole through that aluminum bar that they're channeled in. So don't worry if you go to put it back in and it won't tighten. You've got to give it a little bit of oomph so it puts a hole through the aluminum. That's how they work. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Mod Driven, all about the Honda Civic, and RobMotive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.